Gen Zs and millennials, they're opting for a new shift in the work dynamics of creating Comedy Central content on social media. But is this new career path sustainable? Here with us all the way from the Twin Republic, Karen Rose, digital strategist. Hi, Karen.
Hello, how are you?
I am good. I'm excited to know how to do the taps and roses because all I see is on social media taps and roses and I don't even know what it means. What is taps and roses?
Taps and roses, I mean, you know what? The funny thing is this is a new term that I myself have not heard of. Taps and roses. I'm gonna have to go look this up.
I don't know. I see a lot of folks on TikTok, they use it a lot. So I know one of the features on the platform when they're doing a live session is to be able to send roses or lion or I don't even know what the animals are or what the things are. And I don't know if you send them, if when you send them, it means something. So I'm wondering if that's the whole idea behind taps and roses. You tap to send the roses.
More than likely, that's it. So usually when people are going live on TikTok, you can support your favorite creators. Usually you can actually buy stickers and send it to them. And that would be like a kind of a digital form of currency over on TikTok Lives.
Awesome. So a colleague of mine, she did a story about this not long ago. Big ups to Sandy Williams on that awesome feature, talking about social media and where it is going, especially for millennials and Gen Zs. They're not sticking to the regular 9-to-5s like I would say you and I, but I'm not sure about you. But like me right now, and they're opting for careers on social media. Is that really a thing?
Yeah, so I mean, when you think about it, it doesn't matter what industry you are in, your clientele is all digital. The way we gather information, the way we do commerce, the way we communicate, there is always a form of digital that connects everybody. So when you're thinking about getting into a job within social media, in 2024, it's more than sustainable and it's become a core part of marketing and communicating that every organization, regardless of whatever your industry is, has some form of social media presence and overall digital presence.
Whilst I understand that, because even within this traditional media space, we have incorporated aspects of new media, digital platforms, in our daily operations, but it is working in tandem, like in collaboration with your traditional platforms. Is it make sense? Is it viable, sustainable to have social media platforms being your only form of income, being that's your only job, like that's what you do full time? Can that be a thing? Does it make sense?
So, quick question. I can't hear you right now. It's very, very low. Would you mind repeating? I was hearing you fine before.
No problem. So we know traditional media platforms. You hearing me? No traditional media platforms like a television, Jamaica?
I'm hearing you loud and clear now. If you're able to repeat, yes.
You see what I'm telling you? This is prime example. Digital platforms, they give trouble sometimes. And so the traditional platforms, you can't really forget them altogether. But when we do have traditional platforms, I'd assume they work in conjunction with social platforms. So to say you're doing away with and to have a social media job in its entirety, is that viable or sustainable?
So the best digital strategy incorporates both traditional media and digital media. So I write for a media house in Jamaica. I write for a media house in Trinidad. I also have a radio show and I'm also on TV here in Trinidad as well. And that works and plays well with my job within digital strategy. One of the things that I don't think people realize is that traditional media hasn't died. It's converging with digital. And there are digital benefits to working in traditional media. As an example, if you have a column or you write or get featured in the papers, typically that media house is going to upload their articles to their websites. It's also going to get picked up by Apple News and Google News. And Apple News is the largest media platform in the world, or I should say the largest news platform in the world. When you're looking at your websites and ranking on Google and Bing, they all are looking to see, as a part of search engine optimization, the search engines are actually looking to see, are you getting featured in traditional media? Are you getting featured on podcasts in order to bump you up on page one on the search rankings? So you can never get away from traditional media. It's converged, and the smartest digital strategists are going to be incorporating traditional, digital, and social media to build a robust digital presence.
So would it make sense then to quit my 9 to 5 to take up social media as a full-time job? Because a lot of persons here, I know some of our popular influencers like Tanania, she was a nurse, and Rushcam was a lawyer, but they're doing social media full-time. Does it make sense for me to quit my 9 to 5 to take up social media as my full-time job?
So it can absolutely be a 9 to 5 job. I think what's interesting is that there are so many angles and so many ways to approach this. Are you going to be a social media specialist working with companies to build their social media strategy, create content, do their data research and data analytics to measure their ROI, a part of their digital presence? Are you going to be a content creator? Are you going to be making content, whether you are a comedy creator, a food blogger, whatever you want to do, there is a space for you. And I think the key is, are you willing to put in the work to learn the digital platforms that you want to be on so that when you're creating that content, you understand how to monetize? Or do you learn the platforms enough that you can help businesses strategize and build their communities on these platforms?
And you mentioned a specific word that I was going to, monetizing. How do we monetize? I know for TikTok, it's the roses and the lions that, equates to cash. On the other platforms, is that similar? On YouTube pays out just the same, but for the other social media platforms, how is it that we monetize those?
So we don't have direct monetization on most of the social media platforms, but we do have direct monetization, as you said, on YouTube. So you get paid for your views on YouTube. But for the other platforms, we do have indirect monetization. For example, if I create a piece of content and I do a review on this phone, let's just say I run a business and that business is on selling smartphones. If I do a review on this phone and somebody reads it, likes it, then heads to my website, add to cart and purchase it, that sale started from social media. We also have what's called a CRM, a customer relationship manager, that actually tracks the customer journey from where that person came from. Did they come from Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok? And if it started over there, can you bring that person over to your website to complete that sale? But again, that sale started over from your content on social media.
Well, TikTok, we see might be in trouble right now in the United States. If that ban does actually come into effect, I don't know if we're going to be directly affected because as is, I'm not sure if it's the Americas or just the United States of America. So I'm not sure where we fit into that. But if it is that there is a ban and we're affected, then what happens?
Yeah, I'm 99.9% certain we will be affected because who owns the app stores? iOS app store is an Apple product. Apple actually had to remove WhatsApp, Telegram, Signal from a law that China passed 3 weeks ago. So if they have to remove the apps from the App Store, from the Play Store and the iOS Store, we're not going to have access to it. There is ways to use VPNs to access it, but again, that's going to be more for the tech-savvy customers. Businesses, I don't think are going to be investing in the platform anymore, and I think we're going to see TikTok be more so for the Eastern world, for China and its allies. But for us, again, we've seen platforms come and go. The best advice I give to all business owners is never be platform dependent. Use these platforms as best as you can while they are here, because guess what? We have seen Vine, we've seen MySpace, in more recent times, we've seen Clubhouse. Remember that? Remember when Clubhouse, we were spending hours and hours on Clubhouse, and now it's pretty much gone, right? So platforms come and they go. Don't be platform dependent. And I think once you understand, building your community across 2 or 3 platforms, using them as they come and they go, you'll be in a good position when and if it actually does leave.
Awesome. I love that. On that note, just don't give up your day job. You could do both. Work with both of them. Capitalize on social media while it's here, but then still have your day job. All right, we're going to work on that because you're going to help me to build my TikTok platform because we're going to tap some rose this life. Yeah.
For sure.
More on We Can Smile after this break. Karen Rose, our digital strategist, telling us about social media. Man, I should have started a long time ago. Jeez, soon come.